And we're back. We're ready, excited, moist for what is coming up next. Are we not?
Yeah, incredibly, and it's not just the pizza on my face. I'm absolutely ready for what we have coming up, especially because I took a look at the champions that we've got too.
It was good. If we could have had a play-by-play breakdown of you eating the pizza in the break, it was kind of like a velociraptor. It was like a cut scene from Jurassic Park. It was good.
You know, you got to be efficient with your time in these breaks.
Yeah.
And you got to take it while you can, right? And if you can eat a whole pizza within a 4.5 minute break, then I'm not quite there yet. Okay, I didn't get all of it.
He got close.
Yeah, I was about halfway through.
Yeah. You were rolling them up into basically pizza-based burritos and then just
they've
sucking
got a name,
them down.
and I can't remember what they're called.
What, calzone?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Why don't you just say calzone?
Well, it's funnier if you imagine a pizza burrito.
That is true. I'm looking for facts here, though.
Yeah.
In fact, this isn't a funny place. It's
No,
serious.
we like
We're in the
hard-hitting
QPR.
facts and journalism
Yeah.
here on the QPL. So let's get down into our next matchup, of course. One that will provide us with, hopefully, a lot of highlights and excitement. Game 2.
I'm ready. We've got Sib and Saigib.
Mm-hmm.
From what I saw, we've got things like Clutch,
We do.
Scale, and Strog. So,
It's all coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah, and if the thing is that the Clutch has been allowed through, which has kind of been a bit of a surprise for me. I feel like if you want to ban a champion, and I think it's happening in the second map, there's definitely a ban that Saigib had.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't it Clutch? I really think that's a no-brainer versus Sib, because he's happy to play it on pretty much any map.
Well, we'll start off with Saigib. We'll delve into, of course, this man's past with some of the highlights he has, and then we'll move on to the present, today's game versus Sib. We'll take a look at that veto a little bit later on and see what exactly went on with it once we get a look at the bans. But Saigib, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I always talk about how he's the most mechanically talented player in North America, but I've been a little bit upset at the kind of shape that we've had over the last few weeks from him. But if you really see these highlights, you can almost imagine that actually happens on a routine basis for him. These aren't uncommon kills for Saigib in practice. He's always tearing it up. I just hope that he has some confidence in himself in this series, because the last time he played versus Sib, he seemed really tentative about how he was approaching a lot of fights. And as soon as he did have any of those confident outbursts, it was brilliant. He would win the fights quite convincingly, but it seems like he really needed to sort of come out of his shell a bit.
Maybe he's been put into a box with his confidence. And,
I don't know what it is.
You can't frag from inside a box.
Well, if you lose against a really good player, maybe you get sort of put inside that box and you find it hard to really sort of be yourself because you overanalyze all the little tiny things that you may have thought you did wrong against player A, while versus player B, you should just go all out anyway.
Also, you can't see because there's a box on your head.
I mean, that too. You're okay with your box?
Yeah, it's not ideal. But let's move on, of course, to Sib. Now, funnily enough, with Sib... Why not? Let's unbox this bad boy. Sib, though, he's been streaming a lot recently, and it seems like he's been putting a ton of time in to just the basics when it comes down to the raw aiming and the fragging capability side of things. He's been hitting some really tasty shots from what I've seen when I've tuned in a couple of times. I feel like this is him trying to prove a point going into this last couple of weeks.
I mean, he's never guilty of not working enough, in my opinion. He puts in the hours. Whether you do the right thing with those hours is a different matter, but he does certainly grind the game hard. He's had some highlights this season versus the likes of Dahang, and he seems to be able to command some level of respect on the server, but I wonder if he can kind of convert that into sort of a more play-to-win mentality rather than play not to lose, in my opinion.
Well, that was always our point that we made with it, right? Is that it almost looked as if he was just trying to stay alive rather than actually play for the victory, which in many ways can affect you as a player. It can affect your confidence, and you're not really playing the optimum setup. But the veto was the one that you had question marks about, as we did see a clutch pick. So hopefully when we get into that, that'll give you some more clarity.
Hallucinating. I mean, the pizza was good, but... So here it is. We've got a clutch. There it is. It's in map 2, Molten Falls. It is Saigib's pick, but I think that Sib's really, really good on Molten. I think he's actually got some good chances there to take a map win. Awoken, Visor versus Ranger. Fairly even matchup, I think. I'd possibly eke it out to Visor slightly in this instance. And then Over and Blood Run. The Eisen is banned out. Notice how he's got a Scale Bearer and doesn't want to go versus turrets, but more than happy to face plant through totems and Bull Rush and lead the way. It's going to be a really funny map 3 between Saigyb and Sib.
Map 2 is definitely the one that I've got my eyes on, because Sib actually has a pretty tremendous clutch. In a lot of times when we've seen him play it, it looks great, it's graceful, it moves through the air, even though it's oh so heavy and oh so large, it's elegant and fast as hell. But also, Stroggen Pika that's been getting more and more popular.
True. And I'm kind of surprised he didn't just say, I'm going to go with Slash, the more mobile version. But it seems like he's opting for a little bit of extra stack, get that extra sort of armor that you start with and the extra overstack that you can overall get to, and also building up a bit of information with the Pika. It's never harmful, but I don't want to see these things where you kind of rush into a room, you go into your Pika mode before you kind of hit the ground and you just end up sort of like crouching along the floor into the room while the Pika's out. It's yeah, I mean, depending on how you interpret that sentence could mean a number of things, but yeah, just don't do it.
Don't do it. Like another quote from Zoot, we're going to put that one on another magnet.
Another magnet?
Yeah, well, we had one magnet earlier. I can't remember what you said, but it was outrageous.
Okay.
I think.
Why are you putting them on magnets?
People buy magnets. They love them.
What?
Think about it. Every time you go on holiday, do you not what? Do you not buy magnets?
You mean like a fridge magnet?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you just say a magnet, it's like it's just a magnet, mate.
Well, what else are you doing with magnets?
Well, it could be a magnet for a specific purpose.
For fridges.
I can't even.
But you need to get back in the fridge.
Let's move into the game, guys. We got Sib going versus Saigyb. We are in map 1. Sib is going to be dealing the first teeny bit of damage as he tries to make his way around to get those weapons. Rocket Snellgy, though, is a good place to be starting as he tries to assert himself.
Ooh. Couple of little taps there coming through from the MG. Instead, it's going to be the rocket that connects. This has allowed Sib to move into a position to grab himself the rail, though, but it's not an opening connection, and his stack is taking a fair bit of damage. It's starting to get brought down and burnt through, but the turn is fantastic. Lands the rockets, but he's only got 3 left.
It was quite an interesting move with the Dire Roar because Saigyb would have predicted for it to go much closer to the portal. So Sib was able to get out some really good damage. Saigyb on the run a little, trying to stack up.
Ooh.
And Saigyb was close to being in a very, very sticky situation. Good rocket, looking for the follow-up. Damage isn't bad at all, but Sib's... I don't really know why Sib faded away because he could have closed the gap and possibly even fought the Mega, even while being conscious that Heavy was coming up.
Instead, he's actually come out really worse for wear. He needed to land these few shots here, Zoot, and the flicks are nice. You can see at least his wrist is warmed up, but he doesn't really have control at this point. It's still another 14 seconds before the Heavy comes up. He's effectively just going to concede the Mega to Saigyb. Saigyb tries to peek around the corner, and now Sib has the Dire Orb through. He can grab the Heavy, and then they'll go back in for another scrap.
I would have loved for Saigyb to push after that because Sib used his ability. And still 3 seconds until the item. That would have been a big play. But Sib is just trying to stay alive at the moment. He needs a health bubble of some sort. It's going to make it out of the way just as Saigyb's getting vision of him. Machine gun damage, 10 HP. Saigyb on the brink of getting a kill, and he's going to find him with a shotgun up at connector here with the major items about to spawn.
Yeah, he was able to find him out and punish him with the shot. He pump him full of lead, and now he wants to try and light him up and make him look like some Christmas lights with that LG. Chasing him, gonna go for the tactical visor usage, so he's 1 step ahead of the opposition. Jumps up from the bounce pad, really going aggressive here, nearly sent himself out of the ring, but luckily he is able to stay alive.
Just does a little check on the sidelines there to make sure, yeah, that was close.
There was a wall there, that was lucky.
Oh, lovely bit of damage there. Takes a timeout instead of just immediately going on to the item, getting that extra DPS. Still has to respect a little bit the damage that Sib can do from the sideline. He's going to push in. He has to switch away now from the railgun, but the rockets are flawless from Saigyb. Sib in a bit soon, not able to get onto Mega Health. I'd like to see another delay on the Heavy, actually. Oh my god, the damage. Great rocket in return. Sib might be able to steal away this.
It's going to be hard if he's actually going to be able to push through it, though. It's essentially going to be a death run through the various types of bullets that are whizzing by him, being shot out by Saigib constantly there. Luckily, Sib's able to advance. He gets himself the heavy. The timing's 5 seconds off until the Mega comes up. He might actually have to concede this, although he's given a chance to go back in to grab it. Has a way better stack than what Sib could possibly hope for at this point. Saigib looking for frag number 4, and he may just claim it.
So hard to push around this corner. Sib actually eventually commits to the angle just when Saigib does not expect it. There is a heavy up. Great rockets from Sib. Rocket jump up. Sib doesn't get himself across towards the corner, but looking for vertical rails. Saigib misses his jump and is just in no man's land there, allowing Sib to get his first frag of the series.
Let's put his name on the scoreboard. And he got away with the Mega Health as well. That's going to be the light armor pickup.
I don't understand why he doesn't push in there. He's hit this great rail and he can continue the pressure a lot more. Saigib's now stacked up a little bit and he's able to reapply the pressure. And Sib no longer can really get this heavy easily. He's taking so much damage for it and he might even die from it. He does good damage, but overall, is it worth it? I think he missed a window of opportunity to get a kill.
It's a rough one as well because he would have known that his stack would have been really low off the back of the opening tag because he didn't have any time. There wasn't anything he could have scavenged, but I guess Sib just not fancying the fight, and it definitely comes back to bite him on the bottom.
Well, we'll be heavy up next. Gonna figure out where Sib is. Saigib's playing cautiously. He's not overcommitting towards the heavy angle. Gonna hope that he can do some good damage leading towards Mega Health.
Ooh. The rockets trying to be such a nuisance here to stop Sib from aggressing towards him. He's landing them and tagging him up, but there was no chance. Saigib was already so low, so close to death, with 1 foot in the grave as he is put down by Sib.
Yep, good rush onto Mega. Certainly earned the kill. Now with heavy. Is he going to drop into it? Oh my god, Saigib suddenly hits everything with his rockets. It looked like Sib might have been able to pick it up. Got to watch out on that teleporter X there. Fearing being pushed, he kind of just backs away, going to get himself another of the trifecta. He can't challenge here. He has to get out. He wants to do some damage of some sort. And again, we've got no punish from Sib. I don't think Sib's entirely sure what kind of stack Saigib was working with there. Because from our bird's eye perspective, basically, it looks like a no-brainer to push when someone's sub 100 collective health and armor. I've got to respect some rockets, but the burst potential is there.
Ooh. Oh. All right. The shotgun's coming out to play now as things are starting to ramp up a little bit. The heat's getting turned up. We're close towards 7 minutes. Saigib does have quite a large lead, but Sib definitely has a chance to bring it back. He just needs to play a nice clinical game of Quake here going forward. Drop down from Saigib. That's heavy control once again. He's got speed, and he's also got confidence. Sib, incredibly low. The tactical visor will give him the true sight of where he is, but he doesn't want to hunt it.
Saigib definitely looks a lot more confident now than he did last time these two played. I feel like he's happy to get into fights more often. He's not overthinking it. His timing seems solid. There's been some very good combos from Sib which have slowed him down in this game. But at the moment, I'm happy with what I'm seeing from Saigib.
Yeah, he's been putting up a very formidable fight. Aim's been crisp. Ooh, decision-making's definitely been working out well for him as well. He has the lead here. We're coming up close towards the 8-minute mark, so he doesn't need to try and take too many risky plays, but he's still going to be landing the sickeningly nice shots to at least get himself into an even better position.
He's got like all of these rockets. They're like magnets, but not bridge magnets.
No, body magnets.
Yes. This is some serious business here. He just goes up close, rails are missing, and he's just standing still. Oh man, that hurts.
Feet planted firmly on the ground.
It's a full Kovac aim trainer going on here. Wow, actually still connects with some. That's not a terrible amount of damage from him. Sib is going to force his way onto the heavy regardless. Brave move. That has meant that he's expended his Dire Orb, but never mind that. He gets up close, gets himself another kill, but he's left with very, very little. And that was Piercing Sight, I'm pretty sure. Oh, just at the end of it. 9-3 with a minute and a half to go. Saigo looking to close this one out soon.
Ooh, through the portal. The connection with the rail. Saigib so strong here on the first map. Awoken looking to be going his way with real ease and dominance. Style and grace being brought to the matchup so far. 9-3 split on the kills. Oh, the rapid rail coming out, barely missing on 2 opportunities where he was looking to try and claim that kill and add it to his tally. Picks up the Mega, and now he is on the hunt once again. That's the use of the tactical visor. What sense is this man on?
I actually don't know much about Saigo's config. I don't know how much of a high XL player he is, or if he is at all.
Or if he's just flicking like a lunatic.
He could be flicking like a lunatic. It would not surprise me at all.
Like, he looks precise with it, so he must be really used to it at this point.
Oh, I mean, there's a lifetime of training in this.
Yeah.
This man's definitely been putting in the hours.
Alright.
Sib's getting his rocket jumps. He's surpassed a cooler training score. Cooler taking notes from Sib now on rocket jumps.
Saigib jotting this one down in the journal as being done and dusted. Map 1 going his way as he will be able to close it out. The visor plays stronger than what the Ranger of Sib could display.
I mean, looking at that, I think both players would have been happy hitting more rails, but there was a lot of kind of frantic stuff going on, a lot of fast-moving fights, hard angles to hit. I think that Saigo was playing a pretty good duel game there. I think he gave respect to Sib. Sib sometimes kind of turning fights around when you don't expect it, because he can get that burst damage out really nicely. But I felt that Sib was maybe giving a bit too much respect to Saigo. Maybe a bit too much. There's just instances where you know you've done some decent damage, and because of the rotation of items and what's been taken on the map, you know that the opponent's going to stay at that kind of level of stack for an amount of time, and that you can chase up. Well, maybe you don't know if you can chase up, but he needs to figure out that part, because that's where he could have capitalized, got himself a couple more kills.
No, I agree with what you're saying. Like, there was definitely a few notable times where we saw it, where it was quite clear that if he would have tried to go aggressive based off like the rails that he hit, that opened it up and put Saigib in a lower stack, that he might have could have got something out there. Because there was like 2 times where I think both Mega and Heavy were maybe like 15 to 18 before they come back up. That's enough time to get another frag on the board.
Yeah. And I think with Saigib, he seemed just a little bit more keen to finish off those jobs. And we saw that clip earlier where he finished it at Mega with the shotgun. It's like he's low. And even if you haven't got an amazing stack, you take those risks because you know you don't have to do much more damage anymore for it to become a reality. Yeah, so honestly, positives from kind of both players. But I want to see if Sib can take it to the next level now that we're going to a map that he's very comfortable with. Even if it is Saigib's pick, it's going to be Clutch versus Strog. There's definitely damage that can be done here, and I do not think that Saigib's in the clear.
No, I also feel like this one is probably one of the most unorthodox games we've had of the day. It's to more of the lower sort of pick rate champs that we see, mostly because, you know, we're starting to see a lot more popularity from Strog. It's post-patch.
It's starting to
it's coming up, but previously to that, you know, it was really very, very quite rare. For Clutch, it feels more like it's been banned out on the players that do want to play him and just not really coming through from anyone else.
Yeah, it's even if it's not banned out, it's such a high-risk champion because the skill sets that you need to play him are crazy. It's very, very difficult. Your movement has got to be perfect, and you've kind of got to follow the Clutch formula. It's and if you look at the sort of strategic game that Clutch has, I think it's very simple, but if you try to execute it, it's all of a sudden incredibly hard to be evasive when your ability's down, to make sure that you're attacking at the right moment, you're doing that sort of pre-engagement damage before going in with your shield. It's a lot harder to get those subtle timings sorted out. But we begin here. We have Clutch on our screens. Let's see what Sib can do with that.
You're also just such a big target as well.
I mean, that's the huge aspect about it.
It's a whole nother can of worms. Sib being one of the few players as well that we actually see at times starting off with a shotgun. rather than the MG, as he has that in his arsenal to kick things off. Going to be using the shield to try and defend himself there. Backs off. That'll be the rail picked up early on, so he's already got control of that, but he's now dead, taken down very quickly by Saigib.
I like how he's denying loads of stuff. He's going to go rail after all. He can just finish with a Pika, honestly, but in with the super shotgun. That hurts. That was a full 120.
Yeah, that is going to be bullets riddled through. Oh, another ring out potentially, trying to push him off the edge, but he won't. Instead, he'll just finish him off with the LG.
So already, I think that Sib's not playing the clutch formula tight enough. You shouldn't be going to major items when your shield is down, when you don't have the right weapons out. Look at the nails, it actually manages to half win that fight. That was a staggering amount of damage, even with the shield up. And Saigib's not feeling bad off the spawn because he's got major items. Well, actually, he's only got the heavy, but because of his passive, he gets those capsules and it looks like he's taking a mega.
Saigib on a bit of a hunt here. As the LG is going to be coming out, grabs himself the rail, the shield's in, the Pika going to be used as he gets the kill with it. It is a trade as the Rocket will find a frag for life after death there.
That was actually awesome with the Pika. It was kind of acted as a sort of miniature blockade, while also releasing that the DPS the Pika does is pretty decent. He's going to find himself one more. And there's no shield available for Sib, so I don't know why he's in those fights against someone whose LG is very good versus small targets, let alone someone as big as Clutch. And Sib's in trouble now. There's going to go in for another kill. Shotgun, perfect weapon to use. Saigib is sailing a lot. Sib's game plan, like I think he would be internally wishing to restart the map because he's rushed the game plan and he's not followed the code of Clutch. He's got his diploma, but he might have to hand it back in.
Could very well be revoked from him. As already, Saigib has been building himself a dominant lead mere minutes into this initial matchup. There goes his friend, though, in the Pika, but Strogg himself will try and battle it out now, losing his life fairly quickly as Sib will dispatch him.
That was good use of the mining drill. We might find him again in a moment. Goes in with the rail, but it's possibly the wrong weapon. He's left with a single point of health. Couple of resources here to pick up, but no shield. Still taking bits of splash. Even at a long range, any kind of splashy weapons from Saigib is going to deal damage. Machine gun's a really good weapon to use here for Saigib, but Sib hits 2 rails in a row. Absolutely crucial that he lands those. Now he starts to get control. He's got the shield available. Now he can start getting back into the sort of the regular Clutch pattern. Unless Saigib desynchronizes him again.
Shield goes in. He isn't able to grab the Mega, but it will not matter, as he's the one getting the frag there. This is way better now. 2 kills between them. It was a mountain to climb. Now it's more of just an anthill.
Yeah, Saigib needs to find a way to slow this game down a little bit. I am not disliking what he's doing on the major items, but I think he just needs to watch out a bit from where Sib is coming from before committing to anything. Sib unhappy to press any further, so he'll give away the mega health just because he really wants to make sure he's got at least naturally capped HP. And he knows that Saigib's hiding up at the top. He's hoping that maybe he'll fall into a trap. He sees his little feet. One rail. Pika out. It's going to be gone now. It's a bit of extra pressure, but there's a drop down, so it should be heavy for Saigib. And he's just been getting out some great damage. Sib is left with 4 points of health. Saigib's going to get himself 225s. Mega's going to be up in a moment. Sib not going to drop. And why would he with 29 health, 50 armor? I really think that Saigib's got to find a kill soon, though, to capitalize off all of this. He's looking good. At this point, he's committed to the heavy armor. And Sib's doing the right thing. He's not committing to a major item. He's just picking up the scraps on the map, which he's going to have to do for a while longer. Well, and then maybe even longer now. Well, now he just needs the weapons, but that's, yeah. unfortuitous to run into Saigo at that stage.
Ooh. He's getting the tags off. Gonna start to initiate with the LG. The shield comes through, but it won't protect him from his death as Saigib sends him once again to the grave.
I'm trying to establish that lead that he had earlier on. A little flick 180. There's a good shot from Sib. 90 collective health and armor for Saigo, so he's like, you know what, let's not face. Let's give Sib some respect.
Pika goes in. He's got the vision, but he's not going to find anything with it. Crashes it into the wall to try and quickly get himself back into the action as he starts to skate his way around. Railgun in hand with 4 shots chambered up, ready to fire through. He does have a ton of rockets, though, to play with here to at least be a bit annoying, be a thorn in the side of Sib.
Knows exactly where he is. But knows that their shield is up, so does he want to go in for a fight, doing a little bit of damage? And even with the shield go, if the best thing for him right now is if he can force the shield and get the kill. But Sib's out of here. 3/4 of the bigger items on the map are being controlled by Saigib. Wow, what a flick there from him. A rocket jump up is half worth it, but there's still the damage you inflict on yourself, the shield going up, can certainly mess with things. Oh, Sib looking for that rail, but can't get it. That means the kill is exclusively for Saigib, and it's 10-5 now. Sib needs to find a way to ramp up the processes he's using. He needs to get control, weapons, and get back into the action by 7:45, really.
Trying to get the kill here as he tags him down. Sib with a ton of armor but not too much health to play with, backing off as he starts to sprint out of there. Both of them skating close over towards the Mega. It's up in 3 seconds, but Sib, he's already dropped down. Saigib using the Pika to try and deny the push or knock him off the edge. Gets the lift up into the air and then slams him back down to earth as he uses the railgun.
That was really, really hard for Sib to go against. He's got 2 big rockets to follow up. He's so low, and it's just been amazing shotgun usage from Saigib. He's been having that weapon now at the spot on moment pretty much every single time. And it's helped him secure, I've got to say, like, 1/3 of these kills. It's particularly useful versus a Clutch who is that big target. So even from mid-range, you can get good things going. We see that dash happening in the air, getting the mining drill out, but it's not enough. When your shield's down, the LG just sticks.
So many easy shots being landed, though. Sib just exposed constantly, trying to sprint away. The Pika, just the 360 shakes there.
Oh, that's actually impressive that he managed to make it as accurate as that in the end. Oh, the rocket follow-up! Oh, there's a direct.
Oh, man.
I feel slightly dizzy, actually.
Whoa!
Shotgun again. I mean, what is this aerial ballet going on between the 2 of them? And then the shield is worn out, and there's going to be another one. This is the Saigib ballet here.
Man, this is crazy. The moves that are on display, so smooth, so incredible.
It's normally the moves from Sib that we talk about, right? And it's not even the crouch sliding of Strogger that's been doing it. It's just been the weird mouse control, the awkward angles to go for.
Yeah, it's the aiming that has been the real standpoint.
In combination with all of it, it's like, what on earth is life? I'm gonna go ahead and call that GG.
Yeah.
I feel like we're at that stage.
It's pretty much over. 10 frags in 30 seconds. Probably not. Probably not.
But doesn't Saigib look so much better than he did last time they were playing together?
Oh yeah, he does look sick.
I wasn't expecting this to be a convincing map 2 victory. I was genuinely thinking that Sib was going to bring the game, get it within like 1 or 2 by the end. But it's just not been that way. I think it's been a combination of Saigib feeling a lot more confident, and also Sib. He explored territory away from the Clutch manual, and only for a period did he kind of really stick to it. While he did stick to it, he was making good progress in that comeback we saw earlier on when it got to something like 5-7.
Right.
But then he kind of went away from the strategies he needed to impose.
Also, Saigib kind of basically had control on a good majority of the matchup, so Sib couldn't really do the things he wanted to.
But he's not meant to try and make anything happen just for the sake of nothing. If Saigib's got control, all Sib needs to do is be patient and wait for that moment. So ensure that he has got the weapons. Ensure that he's at least got full natural, because full natural is generally enough. If you get a rail on an opponent versus someone who's overstacked, then push into the shield. It sounds super simple. It's not, but you need to fabricate the fights somehow in that kind of order. If you use the shield at the wrong time, or if you take damage too soon and then use the shield, you set yourself up for failure. So it's not easy at all to use Clutch. We saw some good moments, but unfortunately there was some bad moments scattered throughout.
Yeah, well, that's the way it is going to crumble there. With Saigib winning the series 2-0 already, we're going to be going into our third and final map between them. This one is to decide whether it's going to be 8 points going the way of Saigib, which is going to be absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, Saigib's been going for some points for a while, and I think it's been long overdue for him to get sort of strings of 8 points. But yeah, I think it's starting to move back into what we would possibly expect. Had this been the start of Season 1, this would be the kind of result I'd be like, yeah, this is kind of normality. And we somehow reverted to it. And these just crazy rails that he's hitting. The fact that they're just flying through the air, just, yeah, mental stuff there.
Absolutely bizarre. Just
I liked it.
Wild stuff.
We still need to get some, I mean, it's been not too long since.
Right.
But the chain double midair.
Oh yeah.
Are we gonna get past that at some point?
What, is something going to top that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anything's going to top that this season, but I'm just hoping that throughout the year of QPL that we've got, are we going to get something that'll surpass it? That's my challenge to the QPL players, which they shouldn't listen to at all, by the way. They should focus on just getting wins. And if you go for a double mid-air, you've got balls. Like, you've got massive balls, because Chain could have got that kill much more securely. I don't know why I'm on this tangent, but don't go for the double mid-airs, but do something better.
Can we put that quote on a fridge magnet?
It was not just a regular magnet this time.
Well, they're all magnets are fridge magnets.
Yeah, but you won't put all magnets on your fridge.
I put most magnets on my fridge.
We won't go there again.
I've got lots of magnets on my fridge. So
the fridge magnets are a cool thing to collect, but not just magnets.
Well, no, but obviously you're not just going to buy a magnet.
It's not obvious if you don't specify. Okay, I'm going to have an argument later with you.
Right, we'll deal with that later.
We've got another map.
We do.
Have another map. I actually don't remember the champions that we've got available to us, but I think it was Scalebearer.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Bloodrun. I think it's versus Galena. I think I remember that.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. And it is Saigib that's using the Scalebearer. This could get really interesting.
Okay.
Because I think some of the off picks or the unusual picks tend to go like Sib's way. But now it's Saigib who's using the sort of crazy champion, the Scalebearer. Can he go nuts with this? I feel like you don't pick this champion unless you feel some kind of confidence or some zaniness within your style. So, I don't know. And this could infuriate Sib, because if Scalebearer is hauling ass, then it can be a pretty emotional time.
Is he going to be able to beat the Buffalo when the ball rush comes through?
That was a sick rocket from Sib.
Time will tell, as there is not going to be any temperamental turrets to block his path. It will just be totems, and they will not have the desired effect. But we're already into the matchup here. Saigib knocked down fairly low, just mere moments into the fight, as he starts to try and recover his stat, Kazoo.
Yeah, not looking too bad at the moment. He manages to get that light. He looks good to have the heavy. No immediate punishment from Sib, and we have got Mega up, and there's going to be loads of damage from Saigib. Actually, that was a truckload there. I think he might start seeking his opponent very soon. It is exactly where Sib is, because he's making a ton of noise. Oh! Well, he had close range there. He didn't need to guess or anything. That was just your close range bull rush. Direct rockets. Oh, the mega health right in the nick of time. 0.1 second difference between Sib dying before mega and just picking it up. Could not have been much closer. But that's timing for you, and you need it.
Dude.
Timing.
Well, that's 2 totems down now for Sib, as he's working closer and closer towards the Galena overstack. They both got a kill apiece. Sib's actually looking to try and grab another one. If he's confident here, he could try and go for the heavy. You can see him teetering on an edge, trying to make the decision about it. Oh, but it was the wrong play to make. Saigib plucking him out of the air.
It's such a dangerous angle. If you're railable, you just can't do that. You cannot take that risk at this level when you're going versus someone like Saigib. They're going to punish you there. We've got the totem down briefly. Saigib looking for a rail. He can't commit to a bull rush just because the angles, ledges, rails are just a bit steep.
Stopwatch.
Oh, he almost improvised that though into something neat.
I mean, if it hit, we would have been applauding it. It would have been incredible. Bull rush comes through though, straight down the well.
He's like, what do I do here? I'm not sure. I wasn't expecting it to go like this.
Whoop. Oh.
Little face plant.
Direct.
Ooh,
Nice
okay.
follow-up.
So going a little bit too close yet again. But it could certainly have gone the other way around. Rail's starting to hit now. I think he's going to go to bull rush in a second, quite possibly. He's going to be able to find it. Oh, he's just burnt right through him. I think Sib was trying to tri-bolt jump out of the way. A very creative way to do things. Nails into rockets. Yeah, Saigib is going a little bit mad.
Yeah. He's basically bonneted Sib and then got the follow-up frag. And now he's looking for even more as well. That's going to be the uncontested heavy pickup. He'll also have a few bubbles as he now starts to push back in the rail. Oh, as Sib was ascending. Oh no, you cannot do that.
It's so cruel. He knows how low he is, and he knows it's a low-risk maneuver. There's rockets to go against. Kant tries to swing for the rail, but doesn't make it. 5 seconds until the heavy's up. He can just bull rush into this. He has to be careful. Oh, he just fluffs his movement a tiny bit. But I don't know if Sib realizes that he's backing away, so he's not going to re-engage on the heavy. And Saigib's actually... I mean, he's not perfect, but good as sort of second hand. Sort of second hand, like, decent usage. Good owner.
You can say goodbye to your totem. With Saigib, not only is a certified bull rusher, he is also a totem remover, an exterminator, if you will.
Jack of all trades. Master of all of them.
Master of rushing into your face with that sheer body mass.
At this point, Sib is missing a couple of these routes. He really needs to be landing that. I think Saigib just kind of gave him one for free there because maybe needed it. Or it's just going to swing right past him, and Saigib's like, oh, that's fine. I'm not taking any additional damage. So close to hitting these shots.
5-minute warning.
Very difficult. Sib cannot be missing these rail shots. I think Sib's going to be furious with himself for missing that. He has to be connecting with all of them. And Sib eventually gets a great weapon switch and manages to pick up his second kill on Blood Run.
Yeah. That kill is going to be pivotal to trying to change the tides of war. The follow-up rocket as well works out very nicely for him. 30 seconds until he can claim the overstack. He has one rail to work with. He will land it, but it's not going to net him a kill. At least it softens up his opponent, strips him sustain from Saigib.
I think Saigib should be starting to think about running a little bit soon. Well, he is running right into Sib, but this is getting incredibly dangerous. He's 2 frags behind, missing out on the rocket. He bumps him, though, with the passive and goes with the rail shot. Oh, it's rude. His mouse control is going out. Has he like turned up his DPI in order to use the movement more effectively? This can't be possible. He's going crazy at the moment.
He's absolutely giving it.
He's using that big brick energy at the moment.
Oh, he definitely is.
Oh! Well, it's lucky there's not a totem on the other side of the teleporter. Boom.
The fight for heavy. Oh, he's actually got the angle.
Oh, that was dangerously close to one of the best frags I've ever seen.
That would have been a certified hurty-verty.
I respect it. Oh, the ball rush! It doesn't get rid of the totems, but you know what? That doesn't even matter anymore. That's not the game plan right now. I'm not sure what the game plan is. It's being made up as Saigev goes along.
The game plan right now is Quake his confidence.
Yeah. He just walks through all of the spam and just goes nuts. I can't believe he made that through without taking any... I can't believe he went through in the first place. Oh my god, the flicks that he's trying to go for.
The flick of the wrist from this man is absolutely wild.
He's just trying to get some magic going. It's not there yet, but he's clearly feeling pretty good about himself.
The ball rush.
Oh, boink! Oh, there's so much damage again. He's not quite reliable. Sib definitely is. He's gone through the teleporter. He's actually really close by, wasn't he? Oh no, he's moved into this room. And Saigev being reliable was like, nope, let's not go nuts. 2 minutes to get through this and get those 8 points in.
That's actually the first time where he's looked kind of mortal in a situation where he hasn't fully committed on it either as well. Even though there are only 4 frags between each other and there's still a ton of time, this starts to bridge the gap a little bit though.
Yeah, this is now a bit more worrying. I mean, Saigev's been a joy to watch, but he's certainly putting himself at risk at the moment. The thing is, it's so difficult for Sib to catch up with him, just because how mobile Saigev is. Oh my god, goes in, tries to get the nail kills. But I'm thinking back to when we saw, what was it, Nospa versus Venga possibly at QuakeCon in the Sunday Championship matches. You can just run away at one point. Oh, the tri-bolt. Saigev doesn't really seem to be giving in. You know, even though he probably should be playing much more safe and securely, he's doing whatever the hell he pleases. Oh, the pummel. Oh, the rockets.
That was the wickedest snapshot as well. This is just crazy the way this game's been going so far. 4 frag lead here for Saigev. We're coming up close to 9 minutes. There is going to be 60 seconds of pain left for whoever wants to run away with it. Saigev! You gotta calm down, son.
That was brutal. Totally brutal. It's a mutual frag at this stage, but oh my god, the timing up that bounce pad that Sib had. That was comical in the best possible way. And he just gets passived into LG'd again.
Oh, man. Right, he has proven that he is worth this map 3, and he wants the 3-0 as well. And at this point, he's going to take it.
It's a different player that we were watching to last time we saw these two play. Saigev last time, as I said, well, he looked shy, timid. He looked like he was concerned about being on the server, and this time he's playing up to his capabilities so much more than direct flick. Oh, it's all right, Saigev. Someone will clip that. The Enigma is trying to get the cheer squad on his side.
Oh yeah.
You win.
Okay.
Ah. Okay.
How do you not recognize that?
Does it what mouse is he using? Because surely
So he doubled his DPI.
Yeah, he's accidentally doubled his DPI, which is why it looked like he was just flicking all over the place.
I respect his honesty, but I like how he has the sort of little alibi kind of thing to
that
go
was
at
nice.
the
He got it in at the last minute. He sent it across.
end. Wait, did you say the last 2 games? I guess he meant the last 2 matches, not the last 2 maps.
Probably.
Yeah, it must have been.
Right?
Yeah. But the thing is, his DPI looked like it was 3,200 there.
Citation
because of just how
needed.
insane his
I suppose.
aim was going. I don't know.
Send the message in, Saigev. Hit us up. Let us know
Yeah, come to Papa Zoop. Tell me how you feel.
Sit on his knee and tell him the worries of the DPI.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be funny, Saigev, but you probably should make sure of that. I'm just buzzing after that game. That was so much fun.
Well, that was sick. That was such an unorthodox, just really quite ridiculous matchup.
And you know,
But it paid off.
I think we hype up Scalebearer games because these are the kind of games we can expect, yet we never really see it to the full extent like we have just seen it now. And this is the capabilities of Scalebearer. And Blood Run's a great map for Scale. And it just all seemed to happen here. And unfortunately for Sib, he happened to be the person who was in the leader's way.
Wow. All right, well, there you have it. The Scalebearer, absolutely just crazy fest of show-stopping frags was given to us there, and it was really quite delicious to witness. I feel like both of us got our moments of hype out of that one. We were definitely quite excited with a lot of the plays.
I mean, that was some great. Did we get that like shotgun thing? I can't remember if we missed it or not. I might have missed it already. But that's one of my favorite. That's going to be going up on the wall.
It's going on the fridge.
There's so many ridiculous things. Saigo, his mouse control just looked mad. Direct rocket follows up. Oh, dude. I don't really know what happened most of the game, if I'm honest. I just know that I've like left it feeling like a better person.
I feel
just through positivity.
I feel cleansed.
Yeah.
My chakras are aligned based off of the bull rush madness that we had from Saigib.
Oh, this is it. This is the one. This is the one. Boom.
That was sick.
Oh, I'm trying to think how much damage it even is with the passive.
That was also sick.
Yeah, that was also madness. Because it's at least 50 damage. I think it might even be 75 that you get with like a 500 UPS just passive rush, and then the 120 damage because it was obviously point blank.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was disgusting. I need to wipe myself off after that.
Wow. It was beautiful. I don't really feel like there's much else to describe it, but the fact that it was just that was like a show match.
You don't need analysis for that.
No,
there's no point.
I don't think we can.
No. We're done.
Shut it down. Shut it down. But that's it. That's the series wrapped up. Saigib dominant, I think, is one way to describe that.
Yeah, and you know what? We got 2 more matches to look forward to. I think we need to pass it on. I'm going to save that VOD for later.
You come back to this in your own time.
Yeah, I think we got Nospa versus Waz coming up next, which is going to be really fun. I think we'll be able to settle down in that, and we're going to be able to see some 2 like masters that are going at it in a more sort of traditional sense, and we'll kind of pace ourselves on the hype moments,
we'll do some yoga in the downtime, and then we'll come back in. But as you said, Waz versus Nosfa, of course, 2 class acts on the server. It should be a bit more vintage Quake coming to you after the break.